Hi, I'm Karen McMullen. Welcome to my channel. Today I channeled a message for you if you're going through a painful breakup or heartbreak after a separation from someone that you loved and you're experiencing that real heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching discomfort. This message is for you. It's very beautiful, comforting, and helpful for how to navigate this time of really potent evolution and expansion on your journey. It's a very intense time. I certainly have been there quite a few times myself, and so I know how painful it can be, but I also know how deeply awakening it can be if you use the opportunity well, and that you'll come out the other end much better off. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable to receive today's message. It's not only a powerful message, it's also an energetic transmission that can help you shift the energies that you're experiencing within yourself. So you might enjoy, if you have the chance, to just maybe set yourself up in a more meditative position for today's message and really receive it on an energetic level, that you might enjoy that. And without further ado, here's today's message from the Council of Light. Channeled message for those in heartbreak. From the Council of Light. We wish to offer you comfort and light, bright white light of clearing and illumination at this time when you are despairing and heartbroken. We wish to offer you, although it might not seem helpful at the moment, that we do not see the heartbreak that you are enduring in the same way that you see it. And from our perspective, this coming together and this separation of two is a joyous and celebrated event in your evolutionary journey. And we wish to remind you that you are a glorious being, ever connected to all that is, on an evolutionary journey. You are expanding. You are illuminating. You are growing in greater and greater illumination and enlightenment, greater awareness. And you are bringing that expansion and illumination further and further and deeper into integration in your body and how you live on this planet. And while it can be very painful to go through a separation such as what you are experiencing now, we wish for you to take a moment of reprieve by viewing it in a different light. It is natural to grieve. It is natural to feel sad and even angry when going through a loss, especially if that process of separation involves some kind of betrayal of trust or injustice. It's natural to have all of the rainbow of human emotions, especially to the darker side of the spectrum. However, if you were to take a momentary pause from the processing of those emotions and join us in a different vantage point on the experience that you just went through, you might feel more feelings of joy, of celebration, of gratitude, of love, of expansion, of willingness in all that you are becoming as a result of this meeting. There are no mistakes. And yes, this was a meaningful connection. Yes, it was a purposeful connection. It was not a failed connection. Part of the pain of the separation is viewing it as a failed connection. You only view it as failed in relation to your mental projection or ideas of what you imagined the connection would be. But just because a connection doesn't meet your fantasies of what would come in the future doesn't mean it was a failed connection. Every connection, especially those that involve the intermingling of your most intimate self, your sexual energy, your heart, your mind, and your material world, and involving much time spent together, creates a real blending of energies. And in that blending, you have received greatly, and you have also imparted your energy and given greatly. What is there not to celebrate about that? You might answer that you're not in celebration of aspects of that connection that might have resembled abuse or injustice, lack of consideration, bad behavior. And all of that is true. And as you acknowledge the shadow aspects of that connection and what really did not work, as you see it for what it is, you have the opportunity to draw a line in the sand and say, no longer will I accept this type of experience, and then to root that out inside of you, because those experiences are mirroring to you some aspect of yourself. They're showing you an aspect of you that was in resonance with that. So as you draw a line in the sand, it's also a moment of clearing and looking at what is it in me that creates the home for that kind of bad behavior. How have I been a host for this? And what do I need to evolve into that will no longer host that same behavior? And this is where there is such joy as you make that internal shift. You won't in the future be capable of attracting to you anyone that offers that kind of same bad behavior, because you'll smell it a mile away. You'll know and recognize how hurtful it is. You'll understand it at its core, and you will simply choose otherwise, because you have become wiser through your experience. Karen had that experience of many times attracting partners with addictions that drove her crazy and angered her, and each time she went through a breakup, she would say, no more addictions. And she would do a layer of inner work around that, only to find that the next partner had some iteration of addiction again. And this only showed her that she hadn't yet resolved that patterning within her that was a host for people with addictions. And nowadays she's no longer attracting that, because over her period of evolution, she was able to eliminate that patterning. There's no fault and no blame in this. It's not a judgment, but it is something you can be honest with yourself about and be empowered not to see yourself as a victim of an unpleasant interaction, but as someone on a learning journey of evolution, becoming stronger and wiser. And that evolution is going to require new behavior on your part. And that new behavior can be challenging, because if, for example, you've grown accustomed to accepting a certain type of behavior, to no longer be a host to that will involve you speaking up in uncomfortable ways, for example, about what you need and what's healthy for you. So it's developing a new muscle. So in your relationship that you are letting go of, that has passed its due, that has achieved its purpose, the letting go process is made easier by recognizing the substantial gifts that you received, the lessons that you learned, the new attributes that you were able to develop as a result of this exchange and the bolstering of yourself through the interaction with this other person. The qualities in them that you admired that then were ignited within you. So on the one hand, celebrating and acknowledging the gifts you have received. And then on the other hand, also bringing awareness to what you are saying no to. What didn't work for you? What was unhealthy? And rooting that out within yourself. This is simply a matter of taking the time to think it through, to meditate on it. You could even pause this recording and use our dialogue as a journal prompt and to excavate the answers from within you to what we are prompting, the inquiry we are prompting. And you know the answers. The awareness of the gifts of this past relation are readily available. It is a time of letting go. it is a time of feeling and processing, letting awareness bubble up around this relationship and how it has served you and what you are moving into beyond it. And we promise you that so long as you give this process of releasing and coming into awareness and really taking this as an evolutionary opportunity, what is on its way to you is much improved, is much more in alignment with all that you are and all that you desire to become. There's no going backwards. As you take time to process, we encourage you to take great care of yourself as much as possible, tending to your physical body through movement, walks, time in nature, baths, lots of liquids, tea, healthy foods, massages, visiting with any practitioners for healing and additional support, talking with friends, journaling. Make caring for yourself your number one priority. Because this time of separation and ending is an evolutionary leap. It's a rapid, accelerated time of transformation. Most people fail to view this event in such a way and only view it in the negative of that it's a painful experience. Well, it is a painful experience because it involves, emotions of grief and potentially anger or fear. However, it is an evolutionary expansion, a tremendous evolutionary expansion in a short period of time. It's a concentrated awakening. So as much as you can engage this time deliberately and with power, the better. You will move out of this quickly and easily the more that you engage with it consciously and harness all that this time has for you. It is an opening, and if you do not engage with it consciously, you are burying the energy of this for further excavation in the future. It's also a time where you can clarify and move towards what you want in a very accelerated way. So that might be another practice you can add to the list of looking at and celebrating the gifts, recognizing what was a no and releasing, and doing that inner excavation so that no longer is your experience, and then also moving towards what you want and clarifying where you're going, what matters to you now. As you move towards what you want and engage with this process of evolution, knowing that it is an extra intense time, which is why the self-care is so important, You may also want to amp up your exercise and the way that you move energy through your system, because you are shifting rapidly, so it can help to mirror that process by releasing and shedding through more intense exercise and at least very regular exercise. And even if you choose not to engage in our suggestions, this process is likely to still unfold, and all is well. Although it does not seem like this at the moment, this is for the better, and it will serve you greatly in the long term. So we're very happy for you that you engaged in this connection in the first place, knowing that it was on purpose. And we're also very happy for you that you are now moving through this accelerated evolutionary time of separation and aligning with your full creative power and potential. Thank you so much for being with us, and that is all. Welcome back. I hope that you were able to receive that message and that you can take it and move forward with more comfort in your heart. I do have a few resources I thought I would mention to you that could be helpful to you right now. The first is my book, Alchemy of Consciousness, which is really all about navigating the journey of awakening, which, if you're going through a significant breakup, is something that you are experiencing. So that could be a really comforting book. It's the kind of thing where you can just pick it up and read a few pages before bed and feel really directly connected with God or a higher power. And you can find that on my website, karenmcmullen.ca. You'll also see there that I offer one-on-one channeled readings with the Council of Light, and that can be a really beautiful way to kind of get the messages you need to receive in order to move on more easily. I also just featured a video about going through breakups, and so I'll put the link up there and you can watch that. And I have a few other videos on my channel about relationships and breakups. One is a message for when you're feeling hopeless and at risk of becoming jaded. So I'll put the link on the screen as well as there's one about how to tell if a relationship is right for you going forward. And that video is really just about knowing that you're meant to come together with someone with whom you can create. So creativity is the barometer of a healthy relationship. And then finally, the last message is about really sidestepping codependency and making sure that your partnerships are having a balanced dance of together and apart, so that you can be fully intimate and then also fully separate to be creative on your own as well. All of these messages that I have received are the direct result of my own experiences and the pain that I have gone through in love. And so if I can accelerate and make your journey a little bit easier, then I'm so happy to do that. If this was of value to you today and you'd like to support me in my endeavors, I would really greatly appreciate that you like this video. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to be searched, and to subscribe to stay tuned for upcoming videos, and maybe even to share this with others that will find it helpful. I also love to engage with you in the comments. Thank you so much for being with me for this time. I really wish you so much love and support right now. Big hugs. Take care of yourself. Drink lots of water. Go outside. Mwah.